Hey, what's up guys? It's Jake aka Tag coming at you with a new video. This time we're going to be covering a 3.1 Elixir Hog and Giant deck. This time this deck's going to be functioning a lot different than most of my favorite decks. It's a lot more aggressive in a sense. It's going to have Giant and Hog as the win condition, opposed to just having like a single Miner or Goblin Barrel Rocket. There's a lot more that can happen with this deck, and it really trades a lot of defensive capabilities for the ability to just outcycle people's Inferno's towers and just hint. It's really anti-meta right now because a lot of people were running like Zap Bait with an Inferno tower. You have 3 spells to counteract the Zap Bait, and then you also have 2 things that demand a response with the Inferno tower. Right now, the Hog Rider can pig push past a Inferno tower if it's placed to counter a Giant. So you guys will see a lot in this video that you're going to be able to just... Inferno tower just doesn't mean anything. So if you guys give this a shot against like Zap Bait or anything that is like currently meta, you'll find it extremely easy. So in this video, I'll probably be going over probably some of the harder matchups. As you guys can see, I got a 12-0 right here with it. It was really easy for me. And then I also did very well in ladder. I won like 4 or 5 games in a row after switching off with the deck. So I'll just go through my log and show you guys that it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome deck. Like all the golems. Yeah. I don't know. There's my first loss with it. Yeah. Ghost Phaser. I don't know. Yeah, so let's go hop into a game. Let's go hop into a one of the harder matchups. You guys will probably say, Jake, how are you going to defend against a golem? Against golem, it's really being about offensive. When they drop that 8 elixir golem, you're able to punish them immediately at the bridge with a Giant or a Hog Rider on the opposite lane. Let's see how I do it in this game. I believe this guy had a significant amount of cards won as well. This was pretty late in the challenge playing against them. So I drop a Giant in the back as my first play. It's generally a pretty safe play. Or I drop a Hog Rider at the bridge. But I'm supporting my Giant with an Electro Wizard, making sure that my Giant isn't really going to be taken down for free. My Electro Wizard begins to work on his Baby Dragon after killing the Musketeer. That Electro Wizard is now just doubled its value. It was for 4 elixir and it gave me 8. Pretty nice. I'm going to see if I can keep it even alive with some skeletons. That Electro Wizard is just wreaking havoc on him. And while in the meantime, I was able to convert my elixir advantage, my 4 elixir advantage, with a Hog Rider on the opposite lane, and I converted that into tower damage. I actually have 1,000 damage on both lanes, which is very significant. It's like brutal. So if you guys can keep that Electro Wizard alive, it's going to definitely pay you dividends. So I count elixir, so I knew he was around the same elixir as me, and I figured like after seeing Baby Dragon, he would be dropping his golem sometime soon. I didn't want to commit with my Giant, so I dropped minions in the back, waited to see where he would commit his golem, and then I was going to rush the opposite lane with my Giant. And you always want to go opposite lane with the golem. Wherever the golem's going, you don't want to go into the golem, because whatever he defends your Giant with is going to stack up behind his golem push and make it a lot stronger. So right there, guys, you saw how that Baby Dragon is not going behind that golem. No issues for me. I just don't even care. At this point, I'm just going to drop a Giant, keep my minions alive as long as possible, and I'm doing so well against this guy. I don't really think he even has a shot at recovering, because he invested that huge 8 elixir into that golem. I don't see how you're ever supposed to defend a... you're not going to be able to defend a Giant, ever. Opposite lane at the bridge. So right now, I should just be able to 3-crown him pretty easy. And yeah, this is a pretty straightforward golem game. I did this almost every single time. Yeah, there's not that much to say. The deck was the problem that you can actually have if they get up enough. If they get a huge elixir advantage and are actually able to get that golem, you can be in some trouble. So you never really want to overcommit too early on. You don't ever want to like drop a Giant at the bridge. It's generally a pretty bad play. You only want to drop a Giant at the bridge or commit a lot. When they drop a golem in the back, you rush the opposite lane, but never do the golem or the Giant at the bridge in other any other circumstance, really. It's really risky. That's how they'll get a huge elixir advantage, and then they'll be able to safely drop a golem on the bridge after defending your giant. If he had 10 elixir, he would have dropped a mini Pekka, he would have used his spells, and he would have been able to counteract my giant play. So let's hop into another game. Let's go hop into a Lava Hound Balloon game, because as you guys can see, there's only really 2 cards for air defense, and I don't even have a building. So I'll show you how you guys should be managing Lava Hound Balloon. It's the same philosophy. Don't really let them stack up a Lava Hound Balloon push. It's the same as a golem. When they have that much elixir, it's really hard to defend. So I'm always going to be trying to push opposite lane. As you guys can see, I drop my giant and he just goes the same lane as me with the Lava Hound. So not the best circumstance, but let's see how I can recover out of this. I believe I'll drop my Electro Wizard or minions. I drop my minions. And I'm holding my spells. I'm trying to figure out which one I should drop, and I end up dropping my Electro Wizard, trying to keep that 1 minion alive. Ideally, I would have loved to keep a little bit more minions alive, but one's fine. It will still clean up the Lava Hound pups. Right now, I'm dropping those skeletons to tank for the minions, so I don't take a lot of tower damage. That's really key. Using all your troops most effectively, just to not take that tower damage. That Mega Minion will get pulled back by the Hog Rider. We won't get any hits, and I get a free Hog Rider because he's dropping that pump. That's most ideal situation possible right there for me. Really good. Drop Giant opposite lane, and he just let me take tower because he's playing Lava Hound. He just wants to build up one big push. It doesn't really matter to him at all. I imagine he's going to drop a balloon shortly after the Lava Hound. I have a Giant and Electro Wizard going in the same lane. This is where it gets kind of sketchy, guys. You never really want to keep going same lane as the Lava Hound balloon, but I have 1 tower advantage, so I kind of have to go into it, right? And I'm getting a lot of damage, so once he ends up taking my tower, which is inevitable, he should be able to take this tower because he has Lava Hound balloon, and I don't actually have that many defenses. I'm trying to get that tower down as low as possible, so once it hits a 1-1 situation, that I'll just be fine. Dropping my E-Wiz and a Zap to clean up the Lava Hound pups and trying to keep my tower alive. I don't know if I will be able to because the balloon does a significant amount of damage on death impact. And meanwhile, through his countless attacks on my tower, I've also whittled down his other tower, which is really key in this. If you get an advantage early on when they drop that Lava Hound, you just really want to whittle away on their other tower, because this deck doesn't have like a lot of defense. You don't have an Inferno tower, you don't have much. You really got to go for the other tower. And in this situation, I'm just hoping I don't get 3-crowned. I'm really just going to stop that balloon. I believe I zap when the Lava Hound pups pop. Yeah, or Lava Hound pups pop. Yeah, I zap that. I make sure that I don't get too much damage. And right now, he has to 3-crown me. There's no other way for him to come back in the game, and I should just take it right here. He doesn't have enough elixir for the balloon. I'm trying to dedicate a lot to attacking him, so he's not able to drop that balloon behind a Lava Hound safely. Yeah, and we just assert dominance at the end because he's playing Lava Balloon. That's pretty much that. As you guys can see, the same principle kind of applies when playing Golem and Lava Hound players. Let's hop into, I believe there's a Pekka game. That's also pretty tough. Yeah, we managed to beat Pekka. Pekka, no pump, has Furnace, E-Wiz, Log. So this should be a pretty cool game to watch as well. When you see Pekka, guys, you typically want to, you have 2 things that demand a response from the Pekka. You have a Hog Rider and you have a Giant. When I see Pekka like this, I'm probably going to rush opposite lane with my Hog Rider when I get it in cycle. But it's the same philosophy with an Inferno Tower, guys, because Inferno Tower can now be pig push past, or even that Furnace. I believe I can, if he misplaced it a little bit, I could pig push past it. But right now I'm just gonna defend the Pekka. I'm gonna fireball the. Oh, I actually even get skeletons there. That's really nice for me. But right now, I'm just trying to keep my Electro Wizard alive. That's a key theme in this deck, keeping that Electro Wizard alive as long as possible. Trying to get as much value out of it because it's just one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. It's even gonna deal with the next Furnace wave right there. Yeah, that's awesome. So that means I don't actually have to really care that much about those Fire Spirits. I believe I just eat it to get an Elixir lead. Yeah, I do. So I hog push the opposite lane because I know that I'm up a little bit on elixir, and I just hit 10. I want to test the waters. I knew he didn't have Pekka back in cycle, and I get a lot of damage there. I was really happy about that. Just going to drop those minions so I don't actually eat a full Ewiz, because that's way too much damage for me to be comfortable with. And I'm not going to drop my Giant until he drops his Pekka, I believe. It's not something that I want to endeavor into. I don't really want to drop a... you never really want to drop your Giant right into the Pekka. It's not really a good play ever. Maybe if you're trying to defend yourself at the end, or like pulling the Pekka into the opposite lane, that's potential, but never just go same lane. Alright, I believe I drop a Hog Rider or a Giant. Yeah, no, so I drop Giant at the bridge because he dedicates a significant amount of elixir. 7 elixir in the back. I Fireball, that should just be tower, honestly. Maybe he wants to drop Ewiz. Yeah, he does drop Ewiz. So he's dedicating all this elixir to defending that push when he won't have anything backing up that Pekka. He does go for a poison, which is really nice, but I drop my minions out of range. And my minions plus Ewiz, which is slowly dying to the furnace, but... poison is just gonna be the MVP again. That Ewiz is just so key, guys. Ewiz just wins games with this deck. Because you're making your opponent dedicate so much elixir to defending your push. That Ewiz, which is 4 elixir, it's just so cost efficient, you're gonna be able to almost defend almost every push. And he's not able to, like, defend. He's dropping a Pekka, or he's going to be dropping a golem, or he's going to be dropping a lava hound. He's not going to actually be able to support support the Pekka, or support the lava hound, or support the golem that much, because he really has to defend if he doesn't want to lose his tower. And yeah, it's looking really clean for me, and I just take the dub. Yeah, so that's one of the toughest, or what should be one of the tougher matchups again, and I found it to be relatively easy as well. So let's go into another game. Let's go into our 12th win. I believe this was our 12th win, yeah. 12th win right there. Let's get into it. Awesome. So this is against Zapbait, guys. So this is ideally probably one of the easiest matchups. This guy's upset that he's playing me, I guess. And yeah, I believe I'm going to drop Ewiz in the back as an opening play. Nope. So he drops a Hog Rider at the start. That allows me to drop... yeah, he drops a Hog Rider prematurely a little bit. We're good. I don't actually want to log this because if you log a Goblin Gang and he has Goblin Barrel, like, it's going to take so much damage, and it's not really ideal to zap it. But right now, guys, when you're dropping a Hog Rider and you see, like, units that are indicative of a Zapbait, you always want to be holding that zap. He's either going to drop Goblin Gang, he's going to drop Scar Me, he's going to drop something that is just really good for you. It's really nice. Really nice to get that Hog on tower with like half health. That's going to do a significant amount of damage. I literally evened up the game right there. I had a bad hand initially, but this deck is you're able to get bad hands with this deck, but you should be able to come back and mount some pretty ridiculous comebacks with this deck. You just need to get the right push going. You get that Giant in the back, followed by Ewiz, and then go opposite lane with the Hog Rider. It's just so good against a lot of decks with Inferno. Let's see if I'm able to mount one of those pushes in this game. But right now, guys, I'm just playing pretty safe. I'm holding zap every single time I'm pushing with my Hog Rider to get that really nice zap every single time. I'm going to go drop skeletons again. Maybe he's going to log it. I don't think he's able to... He doesn't have enough time to log it unless he was really holding it and really, like, paying a lot of attention. And I drop a Giant, and I don't actually have a ton of elixir, but I noticed that's a trick barrel, and I do log that, and I logged the next few minions coming through. It's really nice for me again. I believe I'm going to drop minions in the middle after cleaning up these Spear Goblins. Yeah, so that's for a prediction Inferno. So if he drops an Inferno right now, you know what's going to happen. It's going to lock on to the minions first. So that made him do a really awkward Inferno. Made him dedicate 9 elixir, which just didn't do anything. I go for Hog Rider. I hold zap. I drop my Giant right on top of the Inferno, which is something that you can do really nicely. Go for a Hog Rider, and then drop your Giant and Skeletons right on top of Inferno and hold zap when you are in a 1-1 situation. It's just, you're almost guaranteed to take tower every time. So this deck really thrives when you're in a 1-1 situation. Holding that zap for the Skeletons every single time. This deck is really key against Zapbait, that you have your cards in rotation, and I have my log every single time for his Goblin Barrel. I have my zap for his Skeleton Army or Goblin Gang every single time, and then I always make sure that I'm dropping my minions in succession with his, or after I drop my Giant, or I drop my Hog Rider, and I always try to get those locked on the Inferno. And that was a pretty clean game. I played really well, and yeah, that's honestly how every single Zap Bait match should look. That was a least optimal situation. And, like, bad card order at the start. I showed you guys against Pekka. I showed you guys against Lava Hound. I showed you guys against Golem as well. Those are all the most difficult matchups. So if you guys want to, like, rewatch the gameplay and not even, like, listen to my commentary, I would advise you guys to even, like, just rewatch the games. If you're having trouble with any of those matchups, just follow exactly, like, just going opposite lane every single time. And this deck is pretty easy autopilot against all those control decks with Inferno Tower and Zap Bait. Just really easy since you have so many spells. So I appreciate everyone that tuned in. Thanks for hanging out with me today and this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment them below. And let me know what you guys want to see next time in the videos. Any decks, I'm open to suggestions. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.